I have a wild landlord story that ends in absolute revenge. Picture this. I'm paying my rent on time, but my maintenance reports are never being responded to. I'm talking leaky faucets, just you name it, anything that can go wrong is going wrong. And then all of a sudden, my landlord says that I'm not paying rent on time just because it posts the next day into the bank. Guys, I'm going to run you through the very beginning, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I just found out that I'm going to use against my landlord for revenge.
Hey, long-time lurker, first-time poster. I'm literally shaking as I type this, so sorry in advance for typos or if this comes off as a rambling mess. I just don't know what to do anymore, and I'm desperate for advice. So here's the dealio. I'm Danny, 26, living in this crappy apartment. Insert generic big city. I don't want to reveal my identity, but I've been here for about a year. When I first moved in, I thought I hit the jackpot. I mean, come on, decent rent, close to work, in my own space, but holy crap, was I wrong. See, my landlord. Let's call him Abraham because that's his actual name. Forget his privacy, I'm beyond caring. It's the most infuriating human being I've ever had the misfortune of dealing with. At first, I thought he was just your typical grumpy old dude, you know? But now I'm convinced he's actually Satan in a sweater vest. Let's start with the rent situation. See, I get paid on the 3rd of every month, which means my rent is always a couple days late. I've explained this to Abraham a million times. Even begged him to move the due date, but it's like talking to a brick wall with ears. He just stares at me with those beady little eyes and says, "Rent's due on the 1st, no expectations." And get this, that little jerk started filing for non-payment of rent on the 2nd. The 2nd! It's like he's camped outside the courthouse waiting for it to open so he can file the paperwork. I'm constantly stressed, wondering if this is the month he's finally going to try to evict me. But wait, it gets better, and better I mean so much worse. The maintenance issue in this place is out of control. Last week I came home from a 12-hour shift to find my sink backed up and the water pressure so weak it was like trying to shower under a leaky faucet. I put in a maintenance request right away, thinking it would get fixed ASAP. No, 48 hours later, nothing. No response, no maintenance guy, nothing. And this isn't a one-time thing, it's like living in the Winchester mystery house. But instead of cool secret passageways, I get leaky faucets and faulty wiring. At this point, I've started keeping a log of all the issues, and the times I've notified Abraham. It's turning into a novel at this point. Oh, let's not forget my roommate Nick. Poor guy is convinced Abraham's out for him. Whenever Abraham's around, Nick gets all twitchy and quiet, and I used to think he was just being paranoid, but now I'm not too sure. Guys, here's the thing. The absolute cherry on top of this little sundae, Abraham's been entering our apartment without notice. Yeah, you read it right. No heads up, no nothing, just waltzes in like he owns the place. Okay, he does technically own it, but what? You know what I mean. The only reason I know about this is because I have a camera set up for when I stream video games. Side note, if you want to watch a sleep-deprived idiot rage, quit on Elden Ring, I'm your guy. I was reviewing some footage the other day, and there he was, Abraham, just strolling through my living room like it was an open house. I'm pretty sure this violates some kind of tenant rights, doesn't it? But what the hell do I know? I'm just a guy who's one missed rent payment away from living in a cardboard box. So here I am, living in an apartment that's falling apart with the landlord who's probably going through my underwear drawer when I'm not at home, and the constant threat of eviction hanging over my head. I can't sleep, I can barely eat, and I'm pretty sure my hair's starting to fall out from all the stress. I've thought about moving, but with the housing market the way it is, my less than stellar payment history, thanks to Abraham, I'm worried I won't be able to find another place. Plus, moving costs money, and in case you can't tell, I'm not exactly rolling in dough. So guys, I'm begging you, what do I do? Is there some kind of tenant protection agency I can call? Should I lawyer up, or should I just start practicing my cardboard box origami skills? I'm seriously at the end of my ropes here. Any advice, no matter how small, would be appreciated. Hell, at this point, I'd consider selling my soul to the devil. but I'm pretty sure Abraham's already got dibs on that. Please help a guy out. I don't know how much more of this I can take. Edit. Added to the end of the first post says, holy crap. I didn't expect this to blow up like it did. My phone's been buzzing off the hook nonstop with notifications. Guys, thank you for the advice and support. I'm trying to read through all the comments and respond where I can. To those asking for updates, I promise I'll post one as soon as I have more info. Right now, I'm looking into local tenant rights, organizations, and considering my legal options. Wish me luck, I have a feeling I'm gonna need it. Update number 1 titled, My landlord's gone full supervillain, and I'm drowning. Desperate for help. Hey guys, Danny here. Remember me? The guy with the landlord from hell? Well, strap in, because this little roller coaster I'm gonna take you on has no rails. Yeah, we're gonna go through a loop straight into the Twilight Zone. It's been a month since my last post, and I genuinely thought things were looking up. Spoiler alert, I'm an idiot. So, after all your advice, and seriously, thanks for that, I had a heart-to-heart with Abraham. He nodded along and made all the right noises, and I actually believed we were turning over a new leaf. Ugh, I'm so naive. In the last month, my sink decided to cosplay as Niagara Falls, and my toilet's making noises that I'm pretty sure aren't in any plumbing manual. I've put 2 maintenance requests in, and guess how many got addressed? Well, if you say absolutely none, you win a gold star and my eternal misery. But wait, it does get better. Remember how I said I always pay rent just a couple days late because I get paid on the 3rd? Well, Abraham decided to play hardball. He's now charging me on the 1st, and my bank didn't have the money in it. It didn't stand a chance. It overdrafted faster than I could say I'm screwed. Now, on top of rent, I'm facing 7% fees for a failed transaction. I'm hemorrhaging money and I don't have it. At this point, I went full nuclear, as they say. No more Mr. Nice Tenant. I've got a stack of failed maintenance reports taller than I am. Yeah, I might not be that tall, but I'm tall enough. I got footage of Abraham, unauthorized grand tours of my apartment, and enough documentation to write a Stephen King novel. Now, here's where it gets a bit wild. In my pre-hellscape-ish life, I worked in marketing, but I also did a stint at the rental housing tribunal. Yeah, weird career path, but whatever. It means I know tenant laws better than I know my own mom. So when Abraham started dragging me to these tribunals for late payments, I was ready. My roommate had bailed by this point, smart man, so I stopped paying rent altogether. Risky, yeah, I know, but I was all out of ducks to give. A tribunal day arrives, and Abraham struts in like he owns the place. Okay, he does, but you know what I mean, so I whip out my secret weapon, a binder that would make Leslie Nope proud. Full of every single one of Abraham's failure as a landlord. His face went from smug to oh crap faster than my bank account emptied. Long story short, I won. 7 months of free rent and an order from Abraham to fix everything. He was so mad. He stormed out before being dismissed, and he got ticketed for it too. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Wrong, so wrong. Abraham's, he's now going full supervillain. You thought he was bad? Well, you should see him now. He's responding to every maintenance request immediately. I mean, the second I send one. Yeah, it sounds great, right? Wrong. He says he's fixed these things, but he's actually making it worse. You see, my leaky sink. It's full on a water feature. My bedroom, pretty sure it's classified as swamp. Here's the thing. He's wearing this GoPro to, quote, document his repairs, and I'm convinced he just turns it off and then sabotages everything. It's like I'm in some twisted Truman show. But instead of finding out I'm secretly famous, I'm discovering new and exciting ways water can destroy my possessions. Guys, I'm absolutely at the wit's end. I thought I won, but now I'm living in literal water park front nightmare. I can't sleep because I'm afraid I'll drown. I can't eat because my kitchen's biohazard. I can't even game to distract myself because I'm pretty sure if my water touches PC, it'll explode. What the hell do I do? Is there some kind of landlord kryptonite I don't know about? Should I start building an ark? I'm one leaky pipe away from a full-blown nervous breakdown. Guys, I'm begging you. I need advice. I needed it yesterday. I've tried the legal route. I've tried being nice. I've tried being hard. Nothing's working, and I'm running out of dry clothes insanity. If anyone's got any legal ideas or whatever illegal, supernatural, I don't care. I'm all ears. Hell, if you know a good exorcist or really aggressive plumber, I'll take the number too. I've never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually starting to miss the days when Abraham was just ignoring me. At least my stuff was dry. Please, help me. I'm desperate and very, very damp. Edit number 1. Holy crap, this blew up even more than my apartment pipe. I'm trying to respond to comments, but it's hard to type when you constantly have this bailing water. To those asking for pictures of it, I'm working on it, but I'm also terrified of posting because, Abraham, he could be a bigger problem. He might actually flood the entire building out of spite. Edit 2. Hey, to the person who suggested I become a marine biologist and turn my apartment into a research facility, I appreciate the creativity, but I don't think accidental indoor ocean is a valid field of study. Edit 3. Guys, please stop sending me links to arc building tutorials. I was joking about it. Well, never mind. I'm not building an arc. Probably. Update. My landlord, tax evasion supervillain, and I might have just gone too far. What have I done? Hey guys, it's your favorite disaster tenant Danny back with an update that's going to make your head spin. Remember how I thought things could not get any worse? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because we've just entered the twilight zone of landlord-tenant relations. So, it's been 2 days since my last post. 2 days, and in that time I've gone from a victim to I don't even know what to do. Accidental blackmail? Amateur detective? Future star of Locked Up Abroad? I'm getting ahead of myself, let me break it down. After winning those 7 months of free rent, still can't believe that happened, but I thought I'd finally caught a break. I fixed most of the maintenance issues myself, thinking I could just ghost Abraham for a while and save some cash. Silly, naive Danny. Here's where crap hits the fan. You know that big oak tree I always park under? Well, you might not, but it's great shade. Well, this morning I walk out to find a ticket on my windshield in a freshly painted handicap spot where my car usually sits. And when I say fresh, I mean don't touch it or it'll get you high off the fumes fresh. Turns out, Abraham calls up the police after painting this spot overnight. When I called the police to explain this handicap spot materialized out of thin air, you know what that weasel did? He pointed out there's never been a handicap spot at this duplex, and by law, he's required to have at least one. This jerk planned ahead just to screw my spot over. The cherry on top, the cops made me pay the $400 fine. $400. There isn't even anyone with a disability living in the duplex. I swear I half expected Abraham to pop out from the bush yelling, "Gotcha!" At this point, I was lost. More lost than my will to live in this godforsaken apartment. So, I called my buddy Brandon for some advice. Now, Brandon, he's what you call an online reporter. Yeah, I didn't know what that was either. It turns out he digs up dirt on celebrities and people in town, and any request of people that need to be looked up, and he sells it to gossip rags. He's even been behind some of those wild TMZ stories. A side note. Brandon's making bank doing this. Maybe I should ditch my day job and become a professional gossiper? Anywho's, Brandon and I hatched a plan to do some digging on Abraham. Here's where it gets techie. The entire duplex uses the same router. Brandon said if he could just access my Wi-Fi, he could see all the traffic being sent, including Abraham's online activity. I'm not gonna lie, I felt like a little Mr. Robot, but I was desperate. Holy crap, did we hit the mother lode. Guys, this idiot literally Googled how to send money back to my home country without paying taxes. I couldn't make this up if I tried. It turns out Abraham's been sending unreported rental income overseas to his family, mostly using crypto. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars here, all under the table. So here is where I might have royally messed up. Brandon and I compiled all the evidence into a folder and made a very, very good copy. and we slid that manila envelope under Abraham's door in the middle of the night, and it said, "Leave all your tenants alone and fix the maintenance reports or we'll show this folder to the world." I know, I wanted to go to the police with it, but Brandon convinced me to make the bluff threat first. He said it might scare Abraham straight without getting the law involved. It seemed like a good idea. At 2 a.m. after a 6-pack of liquid courage. But now I'm freaking out. What if Abraham figures out it was me? What if he calls my bluff? What if he goes to the cops himself? I feel like I'm in a low-budget crime thriller, but instead of a cool anti-hero, I'm just a sweaty, panicking mess. Guys, I'm seriously just starting to spiral. Did I just become the bad guy of the story? Should I have just gone to the authorities? What if Abraham retaliates and makes my life even worse? Do I come clean to Abraham? Do I go to the cops? Do I pack my bags and flee the country? The last one's a joke. I'm way out of my depth here. I went from trying to be a good tenant to feeling like I'm one bad decision away from starring in my own Netflix true crime documentary. And not in a cool way. Please, this is the last time I hope I'll be begging you. If anyone has experience with accidental blackmail or tax evasion discoveries, I'm all ears. Hell, even if you don't have experience, I'll still take your advice. Just move out. Believe me, I could afford to, I would. I'd be gone yesterday. I'm refreshing this post every 30 seconds hoping for a magical solution to pop up in the comments. Someone tell me how to fix this before I end up on the news. Edit number 1. To everybody telling me to lawyer up, I get it, but have you seen lawyer fees lately? Thanks to Abraham's shenanigans, I can barely afford ramen, let alone a legal counsel. Edit 2. No, I will not be starting a GoFundMe for legal fees. I appreciate the suggestion, but I'm pretty sure help me fight my possible criminal landlord after I maybe blackmailed him isn't going to fly with their terms of service. Updates. Final update. My landlord, he vanished. The building has a new owner, and I think I'm living in a fever dream. What even is life? Hey guys, it's your boy Danny back with what I hope is the final updates to this landlord nightmare. Buckle up, because this crap just went from Kafka to Twilight Zone real quick. It's been 4 days since my last post, and I've been a nervous wreck the entire time. I was fully prepared for one of these two scenarios. Abraham goes full Darth Vader on me, tries to evict me for existing, and unleashes a tsunami of maintenance issues that would make my, FEMA cry. Abraham pulls a complete 180 as my second thought could happen. He becomes Mr. Rogers with a tool belt and starts fixing anything and everything while singing Kumbaya. But no, the universe looked at those options and said, nah, let's go crazy with this one. So picture this, it's 7 a.m., I'm stumbling out to my vehicle half awake and 90% caffeine at this point. I'm fully expecting to find my tires slashed or my car on fire or something, because that's just how my life has been going. Instead, I notice Abraham's duplex unit door wide open. Now, I know what you're thinking, Danny, you idiot, don't go up there. Apparently, my self-preservation instinct took a vacation, because next thing I know I'm peeking inside. It's empty. Not, he's redecorating type empty, not I ran to the store, not even eviction empty, we're talking witness protection program level empty. Everything's gone, it's like Abraham never existed. At this point, I'm freaking out. Did he skip town because of our half-blackmailed attempt? Is this somehow going to come back and bite me and Brandon? Am I going to end up on an episode of American Greed or Dumbest Criminal? Days start ticking by, and there's no sign of Abraham. The other tenants are getting antsy, wondering who to pay the rent to, and I'm half expecting the FBI to show up and kick down my door at this moment. Then 8 days after Abraham's little Houdini act, a white van pulls up. Out steps this massive German dude who looks like he could bench press the entire building. I'm talking straight out of the central casting for intimidating European bodyguards. He marches over to Abraham's inn, and he sees the sign and rips it off like it's made of wet tissue paper and slaps up a new sign with a different company name. Well, my heart's pounding so hard I think I might actually jump out of my chest. Is this some kind of mob thing? Did I accidentally stumble into a turf war? Well, it turns out this guy Fritz is his name. He's the actual owner of the building. Yeah, you read it right. Abraham never owned it. He was renting it from Fritz, feeding him some sob story about needing it for his entire family of refugees to live in. And get this, Abraham was only paying Fritz 20% of what he was charging us. Apparently, Fritz knew Abraham's father back in the day and was doing him some sort of solid by renting it out so cheap to his family. Well, little did he know, Abraham was using it to rake in thousands of dollars, all in unreported income. When Abraham got our little blackmail envelope, he must have realized the gig is up and bailed back to his home country, probably with hundreds of thousands of dollars from years of this scam. I'm in shock. It's like finding out your annoying neighbor was secretly an international jewel thief or something. I keep waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out and tell me I've been punked. But here's the real deal. Fritz is actually decent. He's just taking over the building, hiring on-site maintenance staff to keep everything up to code, and he's dropping the rent by $500. He even honored the free months I had left for the tribunal ruling, and I'm half convinced I'm in a coma, and this is all some sort of weird dream my brain cooked up. You know, no one's heard from Abraham since he vanished. That snake got away with it, but honestly at this point I'm just relieved he's gone. It's like a weight's been lifted off my chest, and only to be replaced by complete and utter confusion. I keep pinching myself waiting to wake up from this dream, but no, this is my life. Guys, I don't even know what kind of advice to ask for at this point. I mean, how do you move on from something like this? Do I need therapy? Scratch that, I definitely need therapy. Should I be worried about Abraham coming back for revenge out of nowhere? I mean, is he really even gone for sure? It's weird that a tiny part of me kind of misses the drama. I feel like I need to go lie down for a month, or write a screenplay, or maybe just change my name and move to a deserted island where I never have to deal with landlords again, but with my luck, well, that's probably where he went. For those of you who have been following this entire thing, thanks for coming along for this ride. I guess the moral of the story is, never try to blackmail your landlord. Always check if your landlord actually owns the building. I don't even know anymore. If anyone needs me, I'll be in my newly not leaking shower, trying to wash off the weirdness of the past few months. Peace out. Stay weird, but maybe not this weird.
That might be the most insane landlord story we've had on the channel. Let me know in the comments down below what you would do in this situation, but right now, I do want to check out just a few comments, and these two were arguing back and forth about what OP should have done. Here's the first one. It says, OP, dude, I can't believe you actually are celebrating this. What you and Brandon did was straight up illegal. Accessing somebody's private data without consent, that's a crime, my guy. I get what Abraham was doing was crappy, but two wrongs don't make a right. You could have gone to the authorities with your suspicions instead of playing amateur detective. Now you're potentially implicating in blackmail and privacy violations. What if Abraham decides to come back and press charges? You might have dodged a bullet for now, but this could seriously blow up. Not cool, man. Not cool at all. And here's where this next commenter heard that comment and says this. Are you serious? Did you even read OP's previous post? Abraham was literally making this guy's life a living hell, ignoring maintenance requests, entering without permission, and now we find out he's running an illegal subletting scam? OP did what he had to do. Sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. The system is rigged against tenants, and OP finally got some justice. Yeah, maybe it wasn't 100% legal, but neither was what Abraham was doing. OP's a hero in my books for exposing him for what he was. And now everyone in the building has better living conditions. I don't know, that sounds like a win-win to me. And here's the last comment coming back. It says, oh, So we're just going to ignore the law when they're inconvenient now? Cool. Let's all just start hacking and blackmailing people we don't like. That'll solve everything. Look, I get what Abraham was doing. He's a garbage human. But that doesn't justify what OP did. There's legal channels for this. Tenant right organizations, housing authorities, hell, even small claims court. But no. OP decides to go full vigilante and potentially mess himself over in the long run. What happens when the next landlord does a background check and finds out about all this? OP is shooting himself in the foot, and you're cheering him on. It's irresponsible and short-sighted. Guys, I have to know who you are siding with. Which one of these commenters do you agree most with? Do you think that OP went overboard and should have reported it through the proper channels, or do you think this type of revenge was necessary? If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name's mr.reddito, and this is my revenge channel, where every story has something to do with revenge. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want more daily stories, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow, and remember, it's cool to be kind. Peace.